welcome. You know, hope you had a nice drink, got a break, maybe brought some popcorn. We have an open league match here for Link to Past randomizer. We have Osora and Mufte in what may or may not be an accurately named title for their team name, Clown College, facing off versus Walter and Sir Link-a-Lot, representing a Derp, a Swede, and a Knight. I will leave it up to the viewer to decide which of the two are represented here in their team name. Should be a really great time. This is game 1 in round 2. As I said, co-op randomizer. And not only, of course, we get to increase the chaos, so we get to start with boots. So if you are going to do things either the right way, the wrong way, or I guess like the fast way, could also just be the wrong way, but at least we get boots to do it in. So it's going to be a lot of really good time. I am joined by someone who... actually, Jem, how do you feel about randomizer? I guess I never even asked you this.
I don't know how I feel about Randomizer, but I love those boots that they start with.
That's true.
I'm all for this mode.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, perfect. That's great because maybe you'll end up playing it in game 3 if there is a game 3 for you guys. But we'll see.
I know.
Yeah. Well, we'll see in this case. Right. And of course, tracking for us today is Ira and actually the third member of Team Con College, Boo, this man. So thank you guys so much for tracking. We're gonna get started here real soon. And again, this is co-op. And in Enemizer, what do we get to look out for? We get to look out for rollers. We get to look out for. Well, what else?
Lionels are a good one.
Lionels, yeah.
But yeah, rollers are usually the most annoying part of Randomizer if they're in really bad places. Because they hurt and sometimes they appear out of nowhere. But yeah, looks like we're off to a pretty standard start. One person starting Exhaust, one person starting Sank. Looks like they're doing the same stuff. Sank person is going for Bonk Rocks, and Link's House person is going for Uncle. Yeah, pretty uninteresting triple, but maybe Uncle can reward us with something. Rogue Shot. That's actually a blessing for Randomizer. It outright kills a lot of annoying enemies, and what it doesn't kill usually stuns, so super nice find early. And sometimes it kills you, like it almost just did with Sir Link-a-Lot, where you hook and miss an enemy, and then the enemy just runs into you when your iframes are in.
Oh yeah, and you actually mentioned that in this case, like the hook shot is. Well, so we don't have a sword. That's probably one of the biggest things that you want to go look for in a Miser Z. I've been told this by many people, probably yourself included, whenever you've been playing this mode. But that being said, I guess we do have a hook shot that can potentially help us. I guess, like, let's say that red guard, did Mufte did he just die again?
Yeah, he just died to that red card. Red cards are terrible. Like, if they get you, it's hard to outrun them before losing the 3 hearts you start with. Yeah, Mufte doesn't have the hookshot yet since it was at Uncle.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, and I know that in this case, like, hello. This is another great thing about Randomizer is that you really, oh my dude, this is, are we going to live on Mufte's side? Okay, yeah, all right, we have survived.
For someone north, and there's a sword in the drop down here. It looks like.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So, yeah, that is. Yeah, I mean, normally, like, we complain the entire time about, like, a seed not having boots, right? We're gonna complain very shortly we don't have a sword.
Yeah, actually, very playable now. We have a sword and boots. What more could you want? And
how about 2 more swords?
That would be on backup playable. Very true. That would be even better. But this is better than nothing. You can dash through most things.
Yeah, that is very true, right? Well, we certainly did see that there were rollers kind of just lurking around here in Kakariko. I'm sure under other bushes as well. That is something that we're not going to be able to take care of with our sword, but you know, for the most part, it's good. Chicken
House, very enjoyable as normal because there's like always a red card in there. Just to torture you.
Yeah, but you know, like, sort of, like, Link-a-Lot has the hook shot. You know, arguably, okay, like, I know I don't want to downplay like the value of a sword because I think that swords are invaluable here. But honestly, for that specific room, I think hook shot actually might be nicer because you can stun all the enemies, right? Instead of having to spend all this time trying to like kill them with a fighter sword.
Yeah, hookshot is such a blessing for all these annoying enemies that you can't outright kill. That being said, Walther and they are about to. Well, I don't think Chicken had anything, so I assume Walther will skip it, considering the score. But at least Muffler is gonna make it to Chicken Hut pretty soon, and then he's gonna suffer because he does not have the hookshot yet.
Yeah, but I assume in this case, like, especially a hookshot, is, I mean, it's like it's a pretty powerful weapon. I mean, granted, it doesn't get us anything logically right now, but like once in this case we have a glove, right? We can certainly get up to the mountain and get more mountain access. You actually see sort of how very valuable it is in order just for like screen-to-screen maneuvering, like movement, safety, defense, whatever you want to do, right? Certainly probably make it top priority. And I think with the sword, like, so would you do the front of escape in this case? Like, if you're up there?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you have the hookshot there, so you wanna make your way there anyway, and with the sword you can actually kill things, so it's like a pretty good idea to go there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it looks like Gosora found a lot of stuff in South Shore so far. There was the lamp and the glove in Mini Modem Cave, and the fire rod and the drained item at the dam, and then there was a boat just now.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
alright, okay, so all we need is a book, and that's it? Yeah, okay, that's exactly what I expect.
Well, but where were we? Where do you think Lamos is today?
Oh, you're absolutely correct. You're right. Yeah.
As a rodent that very much enjoys fighting mammals on the bow, you might be disappointed making your way to desert and finding
that is, you know what? That's
waiting for you there.
That's actually very true, but you know, this actually brings a really good point. So for this to be Enemizer, not only of course are the minions, you know, in the overworld and underworld, but yeah, the bosses are shuffled as well. So Land Mollusk does not have to appear in desert. That being said, it could appear in Eastern, and we potentially could actually get all the way to the back. Oh, okay, so for sure we can actually get all the way back, but yeah, maybe it's kind of like a question of whether or not you want to make that commitment to Eastern, because, you know, you just mentioned, right, like a Trinex could be back there, and you won't necessarily know until you kind of make that commitment, right, to actually go dungeon diving. And while Eastern maybe isn't like the worst one, yeah, you just literally just like push them off the ledge, right? Like these guys are pirates, you know, being up on the water, just basically it's like making them walk the plank, except the plank is pretty short here. We can also see, in this case, that the guard has, I guess, aged quite a bit, and Walter, I mean, it looked like he took about 50 slashes to kill that thing. Give or take, that's probably actually, you know, the number of accurate slashes. However, I've been told that no one should ever trust me when it comes to numbers, so.
I mean, 50 and 16 is pretty close. I think it's 16.
Oh, I said 50, almost the same actually, number. But, you know, I mean, all numbers,
yeah,
you know,
I
know. They're all, you know, what's a couple of significant figures, you know, among friends. Yeah. Oh, by the way, good thing in this case. So we actually, of course, always talk about health being a resource. You know, some probably in locations more than others. Typically speaking, in Light World, you're not too worried, just because, well, there are very few things that can kill you. That being said, this is Enemizer. We can see that Roller's in fact doing 3 hearts of damage.
Yeah, especially in Enemizer, you just love seeing health. It just makes it so much more bearable. Because you're almost guaranteed to take random damage here and there. So, being able to tank a hit, or like a few hits, is pretty important. Because, yeah, just dying is pretty slow.
I did hear that, I did hear that at least one hit being able to take is very preferable to 0 hits being able to take, so...
Exactly.
Actually, so speaking of that hookshot, right? Actually, I completely just blanked on the fact that hookshot also does 1-kill enemies as well. These shadow guys, they seem to be pretty popular in Mini Moldorm caves. So like that's actually, I mean, I'm sure that Asura when he first came here found the same thing, but I mean, just the fact that, you know, again, like yes, like one sword is still able to, you know, eventually take things down, right? We saw how many slashes Walter needed, you know, for the fighter sword. How many, basically, like how much slower it would have been, basically, just with the fighter sword. A hookshot is way faster.
Oh yeah. The nice thing about those like black things in particular with hookshot is that you can kill them while they're invisible and hiding. So
Oh yeah, that's
you
also
don't need to wait
true
for them
too.
to pop up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looked like Mafte wasn't aware of that, so he kept waiting until they appeared, but you can actually kill them early.
Alright, well, that's
so it looks
certainly,
like
very
Sir
good.
Link-a-Lot. So, yeah, it looks like Sir Link-a-Lot is headed over to Eastern, and you said earlier, it's like a little bit worrisome because it could be Trinex there, but we are actually able to kill every boss except Trinex right now, right?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of them would be a little bit scary, but and if we want to kill Coldstar, we would need to find full magic first. Some enemy drops full magic, or is in the magic pack that is around, because Walther got a full magic drop earlier.
Okay. I saw a fish, a renegade fish. I mean, he could have tried to save the fish. That is another thing that you can use in Enemizer. Doesn't also happen all that often. You love to see it, of course. Well, especially if there's one in Kakariko, you can bring it to the bottle vendor. You can get a bunch of like really nice resource goodies like 8 bombs and full magic and stuff like that. Again, I just want to see the fish being thrown into the island so you can save it. But yeah, but
actually,
then you also. Yeah, what's up?
Going to Eastern right now and losing those bombs that moved they just to the thieves is actually kind of scary, because if we find hammer here, we would need bombs to kill them since we don't have the hammer yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's.
Gotta be mindful of that.
Great point.
Well, never mind. We actually do have a hammer.
Oh, but did we just find one?
Yeah.
Well, okay, all right. Well, it looks like Easter's gonna have his really nice value here today. Speaking of more value, though, I believe we actually have the rest of our Dark Pearl for that matter, because Osura rescued the old man, found Pearl as he was kind of making his way up the mountain. So combined with that, suddenly the entirety of the world is open to us. Looks like also we did make our way to the back of the escape as well, with a lot of beefed up security. But we didn't really find Quick Medallion. Again, we don't necessarily know what our pendants. Okay, back of escape's kind of scary. Okay, everywhere in Light World is really scary. I don't want to be here anymore. Can we go to Dark World where things are nice and safer?
Yes.
In theory.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so my potential.
We did see that the Eastern boss is Argus, so we can definitely kill that. Both Link-a-Lot and Mafte found a compass and map chest in Eastern, and both remembered to check the map.
Very, very nice.
It's actually the hardest part, remembering that that's the feature.
That's true. It is actually an intended feature as well, one of the nice things about Enemizer. So yes, when you do see people doing map checks, or at least for this particular mode, it is extremely intentional. In the other weeks or modes when they're not playing Enemizer, it is purely for practice for Enemizer to do the map check. So just keep that all in mind.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I always thought they're bad at the game, but that you make the point.
I mean, everything's practice for something else, right? Okay, so Sir Link-a-Lot, and it looks like Mate is also doing both the Vanilla Bicky chest. I was actually kind of wondering, like, so 1 is co-op, but also 2 is Enemizer. Like, would you try and maybe defer this, like, for your partner, or this is just better to basically have all of the coverage?
You could definitely reasonably skip this year, because you. At least for Mafte, his partner has already found the Moon Pearl, so you know you have Dark World access, so... you could attempt to skip this, it would have paid off, but... Then again, it's also a risk that you take early, so I understand why they both would check it.
Yeah. Okay, I guess that's maybe fair, right? Like, actually, the point that you brought up about the fact that we actually have Dark World access maybe actually is a bit more of a deterrent, at least early on. Just, because... Like, you have so much more of the Dark World, actually, you have all of Dark World, basically, to explore, versus, like, the one item check that will take, like, a whole minute for you, right? How much more value can that be? And, if there is something important in there, you have a partner, right? That's the beauty of co-op, so...
Yeah, that's the backup. The thing with the partner here is that, like, the hammer is an Eastern, so... also, for Mafte, would... Like, has to go to Eastern pretty much right away. So there isn't like the backup where like you run out of locations and then your partner goes to Eastern and checks the picky chest while he's there. Because he has to make a decision right away, so might as well have the first person just check it.
Right, yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Scary, kill room.
The stream looks great.
Yeah, so... I'm actually wondering, like, I think part of maybe like the fun, part of Enemizer, sorry, maybe not the, an aspect of Enemizer, I think, is to be able to commiserate or, react, with another person on the voice call with you, right? Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. If you are a good partner, and hopefully you have been able to convey that to your teammate, as opposed to, yeah, I can't wait to, just wait until you see this room, and then, don't actually tell them basically how to, react or do that room.
Oh no, Nicola is trying to use the hammer here. It's okay. Like the quick swaps are close enough that you can sort of hammer it, but personally, I'm more of a fan of what Mafte is doing, where you just hook 2 puffs and kill them with fighter sword spins. That feels easier and more consistent, at least in my experience.
Yeah, well, that's what it seems like. And also, I think partially, because so you also don't have to worry about, in this case, like quick swapping, right? And or even for that matter, menuing. It actually looks like the menu is kind of awkward here for Sir Link-a-Lot, right? Like, it's because like the hammer is kind of by itself, and then the hook shots. Yeah, there's like not like a good item sequence, basically, like to go left and right in order to kind of go back and forth, right?
Yeah. Like it looks like it looked like quick swapping wasn't so bad. It was 2 or 3.
And
takes off the button, but it's still kind of annoying. It's easy to mess up. So
the good news. Yeah, well, it's in the good. Oh, he's gonna try. Yeah, right. Also good lesson to learn. The regular arrows do not work on Argus, at least for the puffs. So you're gonna have to basically, go with a hammer or a sword, as you said, for what Mupte did. I was gonna say though, the one of the few times where actually it's okay to quick swap safely is that we actually don't have a mirror, and it's gonna be an Enemizer, yes. Right? Because wouldn't it be very sad if someone just mirrored out on accident because you didn't press L or R fast enough or as many times?
Yeah, that's true. It's actually interesting. Normally you always have to mirror on Argus because it's required to get into Swamp, but only in Enemizer you might not have it, or I guess doors and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah, anytime that basically there is some sort of shuffle, enemy shuffle, or in this case, actually like room shuffle, which you see often indoors, you can actually have that happen.
It looks like both the clowns. I'm not insulting them, I'm just saying the same name, okay?
Yeah. No, I understand. No, it's just, you don't often get to, hear sentences like that. But yeah, correct. I mean, hey, they name themselves Clown College, They are, I believe, at least so far we haven't maybe seen anything, super out of the box yet, but, I certainly expect them to be living up to their name here.
Yeah, but yeah, both of them decided to go for the sword strats, and it looked like they had significantly faster Argus fights than our 2 players on the right side.
Yeah, you mentioned in this case it's probably maybe either an easier or at least more consistent. Yeah, there was actually kind of a nice side-by-side where I think Link-a-Lot actually made it into at least like the boss arena earlier, and then Mupte ended up finishing before him, so.
Yeah. So one thing I apparently missed is that Rosora found the Ice Rod on Eastern Mountain, which is huge for this mode, because this means you can every single boss that you can find.
Yeah, it's not to bring up any, bad main tournament qualifier memories or anything for anybody involved, but there's certainly does not feel it certainly feels much better, as you mentioned, that we can now have the ability to rush the end, like the boss arena of any dungeon at this point, right? We can actually kill everything, and you did mention, of course, maybe it's not the fastest kill, but it is still at least possible that we don't have to necessarily mirror out because we ran into something that we couldn't handle. But having an ice rod is extremely nice, because you don't want to be in a position where you're kind of in like, do I need the ice rod? Go mode for the entire time, and then you end up finding something that you can't kill, in Upper GT, or of course the viewer fan favorite Ice Trinex, right? And where the GT Big Key is behind it. Yeah, that's not something that you want to, face.
Okay, so they have They have both rods and the hammer, but that does not mean they can kill Ice Trinex.
Okay,
No.
alright, that's fair. Well, do they have a bottle?
Yes,
You're
they
absolutely correct. This is also one of those modes where even at like the best runners, you see them go pick up the potions, right? Like they're very happy to see Gold Sword, Red Mail. These are normally things that probably. I want to say certain people are like more like uppity about it, right? As in, they think it might be. I don't know. You're never too good for anything here in Animizer.
Man, you know what I just realized? I'm a little bit sad that we found the hammer this early. So our pendants are Pod, Ice, and Tiara. Which means in theory we could finish the seed hammer this. Just from the pendant layout. But of course, hammer was required for Dark Cloud access, so the game is just boring and lame.
The music is actually really good on Asura's side. Alright, yeah, okay, so it looks like we're actually gonna finish up at least Light World on Update's side. But it looks like Walter and of course correspondingly Asura are also looking in this case for the Dark Worlds. So okay, so we have all this stuff. I mean, like, do you have a sense of like where you want to go first? And either by yourself or like co-op? Like, does it look like the Walters might be going to Catfish right now?
It sure looks like that. It seems like a bad idea. Because it's Catfish. Oh.
It is in fact Catfish, yes. But I mean, well, like, so this is co-op, right? I mean, like, I think it is certainly probably something viable to kind of send one person into somewhat more like out of the way locations, because you get two people to kind of get coverage, right?
Yeah, I've actually seen this a lot in co-op where people do suddenly go to Catfish early. I guess it makes sense in that you want more coverage, but it's still like a long check and like you just eat a full minute plus to come here.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that is also a good point too, because especially early on, like probably the most valuable thing you get for your team is actually information, right? And yeah, even though like it is something that it is new information, it's probably not like new information like your ROI for checks per time unit, right? Is going to be much lower than if you go somewhere else. I think that's absolutely very reasonable. Talk about time investments though. They might die here.
He's scary. No, he's fine. He
is absolutely fine. We believe. I mean, like if you look at all of the clowns, like equipment, right, what they wear, the hats and like the pants, and like it's much bigger than it actually is, like on their bodies. So I'm sure that Mupte is actually very, very slender and would be able to avoid and fit through anything. This is really oh no. It is a really scary. I mean, Cold Stare at Hera is an extremely rough boss to have. That arena I think actually makes bosses much harder.
Yeah. Definitely. And yeah, it's just not great equipment to fight Cold Stare on. Yeah, like any bottle, magic extension combos would have been so nice for it. But yeah, it's just like minimum equipment essentially.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, he's already.
I guess we have a
hammer.
It could be worse.
okay, that's true.
Think about the alternative.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I almost think that maybe hammer is one of those, like, gives you like a false hope sense. Because like, okay, I can do temper sword damage. Surely it doesn't take that many more hits like with the hammer, right? But one, you can't spin with the hammer, and also two, like the hitbox is kind of wonky, right? And the fact that there are like 3 things now chasing you instead of only 1 up there, I think I don't know. It's but it looks like Sir Linklock is also going to try it as well. I don't think he didn't do a map check, but as you mentioned, like we have an ice rod, so we can kill anything up here. We also can't have Tridents up here, but yes, he now did. Good luck, sir.
Sir Linklock?
I mean, yes. We might be on better terms, you can just call him by his title. Did you happen to catch what the boss was on at the Moldorm, or not the Moldorm, the Skullwoods arena?
Yes, it was.
Very boring. Thank you, Ira.
Yeah, just
then that wasn't shuffled at all.
No Hammercopter, very disappointing.
Yeah, and I guess for what it's worth, like for this particular version of Animizer, it is, like full boss shuffle. So that means that we'll have at least 1 of every single boss in the game, and then 3 duplicates somewhere. So far we've kind of seen only unique ones. So we haven't seen any repeats. We see Colster, Hera, and Hera. We saw Mothula in Mothula, and then Argus on Eastern. All right.
So
well,
we still have
Link
plenty of opportunity to find Trinex.
oh, for sure. I don't maybe even want to say anything too much first, but Link is actually doing a really nice job, basically taking down these Colster puffs.
Yeah, he's taking his time.
Okay.
It's better than dying, but what's
I
even
agree.
worse is taking your time and then still dying. So hopefully he will manage to finish this out alive. This is the moment where I need to remember to also look at the other screens. So I don't just.
It's so hard to look away, dude, because it's like so tense. It's like you're watching like a. Oh my gosh! All right, very well done.
Nice job.
Link a lot side. Oh man, that's very well done. And actually, I don't actually know if he ended up getting all of the items from Hera.
Yeah, nope. We found map and compass, so his reward for killing Coldster is the ability to check Hera basement.
Yes, for better or for worse. I mean, would you stay for Hera basement, Jeff?
You have all the Dark World. It feels so bad to go for it, but he's doing it.
Well, I mean, so one is coverage. We don't have the mirror also, and like I don't know how willing people are. You know, like maybe that will like make your justify your stay in Hera basement a little bit better, just because the next time you come up here probably will be with the mirror, and that might be like kind of late if something is here. So
yeah, it seems the 1 minute time investment that feels really bad, but yeah, I certainly understand doing it. On the other hand, so when Mafte returns here, like he and Terra Basement maybe has nothing. Like he essentially gets his death refunded in a way if they just never do Terra Basement.
Oh yeah, that's also true too. Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually potentially good for Mafte, or well, potentially okay for Mafte. I don't want to call it good because the death is still just a flat out timeless, but like if he would have done Hera Basement after killing Coldster, then at least there's that. And yeah, it's nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, actually, it might be, well, okay, yes, you're absolutely correct in that the chest itself is completely useless to us. I did forget about the fact that once you kill Coldster, your entire health is refilled, and we do not have a better way to get out of the basement, it looks like, other than just to tank these shadow guys that occasionally come out from hiding. I don't even know if that's better.
Was this Spire Cave? Why are we leaving?
Sorry, leaving where?
Oh, why are we going back out? Or did Walther maybe just not do... Oh, Walther didn't do East Mountain, so we haven't done Spiral Cave yet, I see. On their side.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense. I figured Walther would be interested in checking that out because Linkalot found the Ice Rod, but I guess Walther was just already in Dark World at that point, and it's just now hoping that...
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I think Walther
was I guess
early.
Yeah, I guess in Star Wars you can't find Trinex period, so it makes sense that he would be here and not turn around or do anything like that.
Okay, so it actually looks like we're splitting on more of Dark World exploration. So Sora here is in Pendant Pod. I did hear that Pod certainly can have a lot of very excellent pieces of progression, especially when it's a pendant, you know, for those believers.
Yeah.
We also do see Mufte in Crystal Thieves Town. You know, again, we are able to beat everything, and the fact that it is Enemizer, you more often than not go see people basically do the front four and then directly to just the boss. We are able to, we can't kill everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Did you catch what the boss was?
I did not, unfortunately. Okay. That check was extremely fast. But at least, so actually, yes, okay, I assume if you're Mufte in this position, you will just go and beat whatever boss that is there. Like, Trinex even won't stay an issue, like Holster won't stay an issue. Okay. Yeah,
for sure. I'm mostly concerned about Walther because of its Trinex. I'm not even sure if Trinex can be a CPS. But yeah, if it was Trinex, then Walther wouldn't be able to kill it right here.
Oh, right, because of the Ice Rod. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. But looks like we're gonna continue on though. So on Mufte's side. So and I also, I mean, every single time we come to Thieves Town, especially in Enemizer, I'm like, okay, I'm going to count the number of items that we find in the front, because the times, the times that people actually go to the back of Thieves Town is like, last location, I don't know, like 85% of the time. You as in like you just do the front and then you just never touch the back until you basically don't have to. Oh, but you know what? But we're here. We're here in the 15% case because Monday is going directly into the back here.
Let's go.
And ooh. All right. Well,
requires yes.
Yes. Yeah. So it looks like So Dr. Bobtastic, the third member of a Derp, Swede, and Knight. Again, leave it up to viewers to exercise as to figure out which of the three he is. He did mention that Pod might be progression only dungeon. Yes, we certainly have found flippers in Pod. I'm sure that information will be relayed to his partner. He's wrong. Actually,
yeah. Pod is just short for potters. That's
okay. Right. So progression only dungeon. Trying to figure out the rest of that acronym.
No, it's not an acronym. It's just potters.
Oh, it's just potters. Gotcha.
Yes.
All right. Well, looks like Sir Link-a-Lot also. Ooh, we also have the book in the back of Pod as well.
Okay, that could be big if it's or flute are locked by desert.
Yeah, that's actually true. That is going to be our. That is one potentially a way we can actually get into deserts. So the mitts are going to show up eventually. That's for certain. I guess the flute will also show up eventually, and I guess the mirror will show up eventually. But you did bring up a point in that if any of those items are actually in desert, we cannot get to desert via those methods. So.
Yeah, it's always a little suspicious when you have neither of those things yet. It always feels like okay, this is probably a scene where desert locks one of them. Okay, so it looks like there wasn't actually much in the bag. Okay. Yeah, I guess there was one item in the attic probably. But looking at the tracker, it was nothing important.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, it looks like actually Walter is, I guess like all four of these guys are completely in sync with how they want to approach Thief's Town because Walter's also going to the back, and then look, it's we would like to have seen this boss in its original location. That would have been much nicer.
What's the original location for 6-eyed Moldon?
A Tower of Hera that has 6 floors.
I see, that makes sense.
I mean, well, and and you know that like Hera basement is never a floor that counts, right? So it's just regular Hera. So.
I see. Anyway, going to desert.
yeah, I guess we did see Berna. I'm gonna assume that you picked that up, correct? When you're in desert, on the ledge.
It's kind of nice for Randomizer just having access to some sort of invincibility. I'm just thinking of like Pod, like the Hammer Bridge, which we already saw is not terrible, but but there's also like the torches in GT where if there's a bad enemy that you just kind of want invincibility.
Yeah. Well, I was also maybe thinking of also like Spike Cave. That could potentially be something.
Yes, very good point. Yeah, that makes sense.
I certainly would be.
Yeah.
But I mean, I also be pretty happy with just having invincibility. I mean, so this is still the tournament branch for what it's worth. Like you will incur some amount of lag or time penalty in order to use Berna. Certainly depending on kind of the room, and I think Randomizer might make things a bit more pronounced. But still, yeah, you're not gonna turn down invincibility if you have the ability to do so. It looks like we actually have another unique boss in the back of desert. You are correct. I should not have ever gotten my hopes up because that's still not presented itself. But we do have, I would say, okay, what are your thoughts about Blind being in the back of desert? Better, worse, easier?
Any boss is easier than Bolamos, so definitely easier.
Okay, I'm asking because, so when you walk into the back of Blind, Defining Blind, right? It's like you're not standing up top, so you do, it's not a scripted fight anymore, right?
Yeah, so it's definitely harder, but we have enough parts, and there's the convenient burner right outside that will make it an easy fight. It could be, there's way worse places for Blind to be. Thinking about the Hammer Arena or the Virtuous Arena, where the top is covered in some sort of hazard.
That's true.
So,
that's true.
Sort of happy to see it here.
Now, of course, that being said, Blind can make its appearance, another time. So. But yes, it is certainly kind of nice to see at least that you like there's one that's only like one of potential two that you could find. Okay, hello Jazz guy. that was a surprise. I would not have probably done too much damage, but still like. Oh, hello Spike. Well, okay. So remember when we said the health is a resource? Yeah, it's a good idea to have some extra health going into these rooms. Okay, and at least for what it's worth, like it's at the very beginning of the dungeon. So even if you took the death, it actually might be more of a benefit if nothing else, just because you get most of your health back, and then also like the death warp is just one room, right? So...
Yeah. If you take the death there, you probably want to death warp anyway, because it's like
actually a very good point.
Going into the dungeon on one heart.
Alright, it looks like okay, so Mupte is here in at least pod. He's gonna at least get the flippers, and we got I guess a book, which at this point, well, it's kind of looking like that book was required for Desert Palace access, but I guess we also haven't seen like okay, where else can we go?
Desert hasn't given us anything, so it might not be needed. The book also gives us Ether Tablet. And it also gives us Pyramid Fairy. So it still looks another 3 items, plus a potential 4th once we find the mirror on Bombo's
Right. Oh man, I'm just thinking do we have to go back to Harry? Without the mirror?
Probably at least Osora's maybe interested in that. Because he can check Ether Tablet while he's there, and yeah, it unlocks Pyramid Fairy as well with the desert boss.
Yeah, I guess maybe this is also Asura's opportunity to like check Hera basement. Maybe.
Yeah, assuming nothing is on Ether. At this point, I'd assume Asura would be desperate enough to very unlikely skip Hera basement. Let's say it like that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fair. And yeah, man. So while I don't think that. Maybe like we could be certainly in a lot worse positions to go take off Colster. I mean, certainly Sir Lincoln did a really nice job when he was up there trying to kill Colster on Moldorm, but I don't know. Like if this is actually our progression, either behind Pyramid Fairy or like something it's kind of mean for Enemizer to basically force you to fight Colster like this.
Yeah, the Master Sword does actually make a pretty big difference. You can actually slash the boss for like safe damage. Your spins actually do a significant amount of damage now, so it's a lot better. It's still not what you want, but it's a lot better. Yeah. I guess we can't even do like the textbook Temper Sword. Although I mean, again, like you would never complain about Temper Sword. Speaking of, can we get Temper Sword? I would very much like that. Yes, same. Oh yeah, chat pointing out. Another thing you could do with the Master Sword is like doing the double hits with the sword beams, if you can get the distance right. And that way you would have another 4 shots to kill Colster with.
Yeah. Okay. Is there an item on Helma? I have no idea.
I don't know.
Helma had.
Like what?
Did we actually kill Helma?
No. Blind Ether in Desert.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, speaking of Ether, we're seeing the tablet, which has mids. So that book definitely very important.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so Pod really didn't pay out today. Like, we have the flippers that were required on the Bullock side for Swamp, at the very least, and we have mids, which is required for, like, the rest of the game.
Yeah. So I assume... Oh, okay, I'm not gonna say assume, but I wouldn't be surprised if Osora skips Hera basement here. It's just very slow for one check. You just got the mids, which unlock a ton of stuff. Plus, with those mids, he really wants to go to the Dark Death Mountain, and that would mean he would have to death warp out of the basement, which is just very enjoyable.
I mean,
you can do it.
Enjoyable. Oh my god, is this gonna happen? Oh man. Oh.
Well, I think we just do the Brad part.
Yeah. So this is actually really great. You know, I know that before, like, I guess like people kind of figure out this particular setup, like with the bomb, but like sometimes if you didn't necessarily know like that method, sometimes in Enemizer you just can't Hera pots with only one version. Yeah.
It's definitely always helpful to know multiple versions of this trick, so you can back it up accordingly. Walter is going for Hammer, which I assume means that there's one item on the boss.
Yeah, well, that is also what I'm assuming as well. Like, because it seems like if there's only just the pendant, I guess we don't even have pedestal knowledge at this point, but it is a pretty hefty commitment just literally for the pendant. So hopefully in this case, he's at least gonna get rewarded with something at the end.
Osora did a nice job, by the way, tapping up some of those fire shots. Missed one of his fire rods on the puffs, but so it's a lot of extra damage he got out of it. Looks like he's also very healthy at this point, so unless he gets middle hold or something or falls down at all, this cannot really end in a disaster anymore.
Yeah, there is also a good reminder in that, yes, even in Enemizer, you can get, in fact, middle hold. It does happen. But you also, but you can actually see, like, kind of like the major difference that a Master Sword made, right, versus a Fighter Sword. Like, he was doing spins, and, I mean, not only they're doing, like, much more damage, but also just much safer as well. You definitely pointed that earlier, so... Alright, well, looks like, yeah, we do have a new boss, just on the, Light World version. We have Armos here on Helmasaur's spot.
Just bombs.
It is just a bomb.
Well, I'm probably not very happy about that.
But I guess we're here, we're just gonna pick up, our pendant. At least it seems like for Walter and Sir Link-a-Lot, they've been basically much more, I would say, like, thorough. I mean, Link-a-Lot basically definitely stayed in the basement. Looks like actually Sir is gonna do the same thing. I was even thinking, like, it was such a great, experience watching Sir Link-a-Lot trying to death warp on the shadow guys, right? And he only had, like, 6 hearts maybe at the time?
Yeah.
I'm kind of watching Osora's screen and,
he should already be taking damage from the tiles. Maybe,
I was
maybe
actually thinking this too.
To save and quit out of there and then just took over to East of Norton. That's probably not even that much worse.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's actually a good point too.
But yeah, this doesn't look like he wants to death warp. Or maybe he's hoping that there's like
just like the mirror here?
Or something that deals a lot of damage, but yeah, let's see. Save and quit. Oh, we walk out.
We're just walking out. Okay, so I did. Okay, actually, like, if you have this much health, I mean, would it still be fine in this case because you just take all the the tiles damage, and then that'll be easy.
Yeah, the tiles do enough damage, but then he decided, okay, I'm not walking out.
Yeah. It is actually kind of interesting.
I'll let Nafte do Darkness Mountain. I'll do something else.
Oh right, because I don't think he must have rescued the old man because they all have Pearl. So but okay, so he can do like the mist checks basically not on the mountain, which is fine. Yeah, we got boots. We can do King's Tomb. Maybe he'll go into actually where do we go? Ice Palace.
Ice. We can do ice, but I guess we would like to have the cane for it. That's the
thing. Also a pendant.
Well, it's also a pendant. Yeah, so maybe you don't want to go there, but we don't really have much open right now. Is the thing. Okay, we have TR open in theory, but if we had the Quake Medallion on Muffy's side, but we can't get in.
I'm also not sure if, well, okay, I guess I don't know about these guys' hovering abilities, but I think even for the best of runners, hovering, like, the first whatever chests or rooms of Turtle Rock is probably not what people are looking for. That match is pretty nice, especially in Miser. I'm sure they would have loved to have seen it for Colster, honestly, but, they'll just make do with Master Sword.
Yeah, so unfortunately on Office and the Link-a-Lot's side, they're running out of checks, and this kind of forces them to do this very inefficient check where they both do Zora together, and that's kind of unfortunate because you really don't want to do this in co-op.
Yeah, but I guess it looks like it actually could be worse though because they got a bottle, which means that if sick kit is required, maybe this is something they both need to do.
That's true. Yeah. It looks like Walther's going to turn in that bottle. I'm not sure I like that much because Walther's the one that hasn't done Hera and has the Master Sword, so he could be the one that goes to Hera right now and checks Ether Tablet.
And I guess then also he can do Pyramid Theory as well, right? Well, no, I guess Linklock's gonna do that now.
I think I was doing that right now, yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like they think, man, I mean, going back to Hera, without a mirror, it just seems so can we do something else instead, type of thing? Because I mean,
Yeah,
in this case, we definitely saw it was required, but like, you don't want to make the trip all the way over, you know?
Yeah, it's just like going to CAG just for sick kid, just that feels almost as bad. I know it's faster than going to Hera the long way, but like it feels almost just as bad.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good point as well. I mean, like, and this is kind of like this seed. I mean, while yeah, we got to start with boots, you know, which is phenomenal, right, for any mode. In terms of like other type of like movement abilities, like they're really kind of feeling, I think, the effects of just not having a flute. I mean, we are gonna find that flute eventually. That being said, it could be also go for what it's worth, right? So, you're like the overworld travel in order to just get to, oh, you can't just go to the potion shop easily, you can't go to Sick Kid easily, you can't go to Kakariko easily. Like it's you have to kind of like really plan things out, and the more inefficient you are, just like the more time loss you're going to occur.
Yeah, you just keep on bleeding time. Looks like Walther's picking up a red potion for us. Cold Step fight.
Okay, it's very reasonable. We're gonna release our bee. Our good. Is he a good bee? Like goodbye, you know, good Sir Bee.
Where is the sword that Lincoln is missing? Oh, he's going for Spike Cave. Okay, I was gonna say he needs it before he goes to Ether, but I guess it's not actually last occasion because nobody's done Spike Cave yet.
True, but that's actually a good question too. I don't remember where that sword was.
I think it's like somewhere in the Scorewoods area.
Okay.
Because that's where they were when they suddenly had a Master Sword, all of them.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha. So was, I guess, paying out some value again. Thanks, Ira.
Yeah, our trackers. Yeah. Thank you.
Although, should we really be thinking? Okay, you know what? I can't take out, you know, Skullwoods. You are just a messenger, okay? Like, you only can report what you see, and messengers get to live. Do not, you know, take out the pain of Skullwoods on the message delivers.
Okay, so we're about to see the Smith here, which is nothing. So right now we have purple chest and ice, right? We saw that Pyramid Fairy is nothing on Solinkalot's side. There's powder, I guess.
It's true. We have real powder, yes?
I sure hope so.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm using this commentary booth.
Okay. We're just not gonna worry in this case about any mushrooms. We're gonna use the actual items for its intended purpose, not for any other unintended purposes.
Okay.
Okay, but we didn't. It's not. Yeah, we didn't see anything on powder, right? Or magic bat.
No, that was just arrows. So I assume the way they're gonna split it up is it's gonna do purple chest here while Mafte probably hops into Ice Palace. Yeah, I think that's very reasonable. I mean, man, and again, like a lot of things that we would like to be able to do more efficiently, right now we just don't have the ability to, right? I mean, in type of overworld travel, we don't have the flute, we don't have the mirror really to do any of this. I mean, granted, I think if they had the mirror, they would probably be hopping into Swamp Palace by now. But you know, that being said, if you want to check the Smith Chain, right? Yeah, I mean, how many times have Asura saved and quitted right now? Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a flute.
Oh wow! You remember when I said at the very beginning of the broadcast, I hope you got a drink and I hope you got some popcorn, because you know we're here for some fun. You know what? Maybe you should get a second helping of popcorn. Maybe you should get a second drink because we apparently are doing the rest of the dungeons in this great Enemizer seed. That knowledge, by the way, for Pedestal is really huge for Asura and Mufte. I mean, Walter and Sir Linkalot certainly still have the ability to find out what pet is, but like right now, the fact that they don't know that they don't necessarily that they still have to go beat pendant dungeons is the longer they don't know, the worse the more it's gonna have. It's the more it's gonna hurt them. Yeah,
this was a great time for them to check Pedestal because like Mafte is gonna fish up Pyramid Fairy and Osora is gonna do purple chest, and after this they're gonna be forced to go into ice, and they will know that not to leave before they like even if they find progression.
Yeah, so for what it's worth though, like the fact that Walter actually has beaten Helmholtzer, that's actually really good for Walter and Sir Linkalot. I mean, like right now, I mean certainly Sir Linkalot hasn't beaten Helma, but that the venture to get Helma's pendant is actually like required in this case.
Yeah, so that's great news for Walter. They're still a little bit behind though, because they just last location mids. That's the problem. But at least killing Hammer wasn't a waste of time. So I guess at this point, no, I guess Mira is also still out. I was gonna say very likely that Kane is just a nice, and then we go TR, pull pedestal, and that's it. But yeah, we also need to find a mirror, so that could also come up at any point, I guess.
Yeah, and you're really kind of hoping this case that the mirror shows up on the sooner side. I mean, for several reasons, right? One, the mirror is required. So in order to be able to I guess, to declare out other dungeons, so that's great. It'll make things a lot more efficient for you. Well, in this case, like, Mufte doesn't have to do the smith chain, because the sword has already taken out the entire section, and obviously it was nothing. So, but I mean, if in this case they had to, Mufte could have an easier time because you have the mirror. But then also, like, the longer you don't have a mirror, you kind of abandon some of the mirror lock locations, and then you have to necessarily kind of go back for them.
What are your thoughts on simply finding the mirror in the first Justified?
You know what? I think Mufte should have done that before I started my whole spiel about finding the mirror sooner rather than later. I blame Mufte for that. So it's never my fault. Okay.
Yes. Shame on you, Mufte.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, this is a great room.
We always find Stalfos Nice and Ice Palace, isn't that right, John?
Yeah, this is vanilla, essentially.
Yes, that's exactly what I've always expected here. So this is...
I like the muscle memory of just dropping the bomb up there. Would have been really funny if it actually killed the enemy.
I think it would have been hilarious. Yeah, this room... is it one of the shadow guys that has the key then? Is that...
I think the one that's going left to right, or maybe it's a mummy. It's a mummy.
Okay. Yeah, kind of awkward because so like the shadow guys they're never shuffled out of the original, just like wall masters are never shuffled out. But the shadow enemies can always be shuffled in and replace things, so it's kind of sometimes hard to tell. What?
He's very reasonable.
Yeah, well, no, he's really taking advantage of this half magic thing, because like he found it in Hookshot Cave, and it's just great. Like.
The nice thing is too that our stun price is full magic, so it's very easy to restock. So normally in Ice Palace, there's no enemy you can stun, at least with the hookshot. So Randomizer actually makes it possible to restock your magic very easily here with stun price. Yeah,
and you talk about actually kind of refilling your magic. Like, so, like, if it's Cold Stare, like, great, obviously, we know how to kill Cold Stare. If it's, like, other bosses, like Trinex, you're never ever going to complain about extra magic. But this is definitely good news for Walter. He is here in Ice Palace, so he will get the... he's already gotten the mirror.
He will have gotten.
Yes. The more questionable aspect, though, of Walter being here, though, is, I guess, like, for his sake, you want the last item to be on Cold Stare, and not any sooner, because I think, they don't know it's a pet seed yet, but if the last time's on Cold Stare, he'll probably stay. That being said, if it's not, he might leave early, which would be, that's kind of like in this case where the lack of pet knowledge, will be a detriment.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't just leave. Honestly, I could see Solinka leaving while Walter checks
after mirror?
Yeah.
I think that would actually be great. Actually, that would, in my opinion, that would be like a much better scenario than like Sir Link-a-Lot kind of following Walter for the rest of them. Like, the mirror's pretty early, right? Just a Compass Chest?
Yep.
Yeah, so... I mean, if he... Walter does not want to be here anymore.
Oh no.
He got pretty far, too.
Yeah, he killed IPV Giant, and he didn't want to continue.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. They will have to come back here eventually, and so, but at least they have the mirror so they can potentially do more exploration. That being said, Walter with the mirror can actually go back and check pedestal when he goes beat Skull Woods.
No, they both have Skull Woods done.
Oh, they both have Skull Woods done. Oh, okay, I can't read the track.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just hoping that they go back and check pedestal. I mean, that Promises pick on Asura's side was really good.
Yeah, it's basically impossible to check the pedestal with Morphula in the seed, because the mirror that lets you make pedestal convenient after killing a boss is locked behind mids, which were locked behind the second sword that was found in Skullwoods. And you had to fire Rodeo early, so pretty much you kind of have to clear Skullwoods before getting the mids.
That is really unfortunate. I mean, certainly if you're hoping this case for Walter and Sir Lincoln, and of course Dr. Bob as part of the third team member, you certainly want them to, like be able to somehow check the pedestal earlier. I mean, like, so having the pedestal knowledge that they know that's required isn't necessarily something that will be like have a negative impact, but the fact that like they think that they're going to be efficient by leaving pendant dungeons is eventually going to catch up to them.
Yeah. It's leaving early in ice after first chest at least is not the worst, but it's definitely a time loss, and and yeah, this time loss is just going like once they find all the other items. Oh well, I guess at this point it's just the cane, right? Once they find the cane, everything else they check. After that, it's just a time waste. Yeah.
And I kind of like, well, okay. If they do find the key to Samaria, like, I've been before finding the flute, or sorry, finding flute knowledge. I guess, like, I mean, for their benefit, they still have to go into all of the dungeons, do all the pendants and stuff, things like that. So, like, even if they dive Turtle Rock, it probably won't be for nothing. But yeah, like the danger is them not finishing it. Yeah, that's right. Speaking of Turtle Rock, so we do have our first of, at least one Trinex in this seed, which is here in the bottom of Ice Palace. Like I said, no, you're never gonna complain about more magic if you have one Trinex.
Yeah, very happy to find it late enough that we already have all this half magic and stuff.
Speaking of who doesn't have half magic, though, Asura was not the lucky one that got to do Dark Death Mountain.
True. He might pick it up after, or maybe even before doing Turtle Rock. It's just nice to have an Animalizer.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, any type of like safeties, or extra health, extra sword. Oh well, we could not do Icebreaker. I really hope, for Walter's sake especially, that he is going to be able to do Ice Palace Bomb Jump, or haven't had a second try at it, because that cane is on Cold Stare.
Oh no.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned. Okay, actually, so in that room when you do Ice Palace Bomb Jump, is there something wonky about like it being Enemizer? Like, can it?
Yeah, so if there's certain types of enemies, they can screw up your bomb jump. I think it's like Barbies or something.
Okay.
But I guess it wasn't the case. Maybe Walter assumed he got screwed over by some kind of enemy, and that's why he left.
Okay, yeah, that's probably certainly very possible as well. We're also seeing this case. Just very similar to what Mupte had experienced, right? Some of the rooms don't seem like you could figure out at the first time. Okay, so actually, after all this, so we know where the flute is, and we know where the cane is. Do we need anything else for Gobo at this point? We're just trying to scan the inventories here.
Potentially Bombos for Meyer, but...
Right, okay.
I assume they're just going to assume that Gobo skip a lot of stuff now. And by a lot of stuff, I mean like a few chests in TR, and then they'll get the flute and find out what Meyer is.
I'm actually just wondering, do you think like can the bomb mess things up for Ice Palace Bomb Jump? Maybe not. From the Hinox.
I don't.
Sorry,
know.
I
just know that it is. I just know that Barry's can screw it up, and I assume there's probably other things too, but that's the only one I'm sure about. But yeah, it might be. There certainly are probably other things that can mess with you.
Yeah, like Atomizer is like super wonky and weird, in my opinion, and I think every once in a while things just change.
Okay, so chat confirming it's the sprite in slot 1 being above ground. So like a floating enemy. So it's I guess it's like
Okay.
Baris or Bombers or stuff like that. That can screw you
Oh
over.
my gosh! Okay,
Okay,
thank you for
it's over.
confirming. So Asura almost experienced a Galaxy Brain backtrack on Cold Stare.
I don't understand this
Mufte-
reference.
Do you think Mufte warned Asura about that Wallmaster potentially?
Surely they
Okay.
playing co-op after all, right?
Yes,
you warn your
surely your partner has told you, hey, by the way, there is a Wallmaster right before you drop Cold Stare. Or sorry, I dropped down to Shrine. Update.
I'm sure these are great cooperators. They would warn each other. Okay, we go try next time. So Mofte right now is probably hoping that in the chest that he checks on the way in TR. Well, he's forced to check some, that's why he's doing this. Since he needs the keys. But he's certainly hoping that he is gonna find Temple Soul on the way while he's doing all this, because nobody wants to be sad.
We're like mega playable,
Same
you know? Yeah, I mean, you know, like, okay, so yes, it would be really great if anybody finds another offensive upgrade, right? Whether it's silvers, whether it's tempered. I mean, we always probably just want tempered at this point, but you know, you beggars can't be choosers, right? That's at least part of Rando.
Yeah, it's just sad to do Master Sword Silverless again at the end of painful seed like this.
Yeah, because you're already pretty. Yeah, I mean, like, so I know that these guys are certainly like the fact that they're both, all four of them, sorry, are in round 2 of league playoffs. I mean, they've certainly played a lot of Rando. You've built up a lot of endurance. That being said, Enemizer honestly is probably more taxing than the regular seed, just because a lot of your muscle memory probably isn't there. But also you're also trying to react and not freak out probably. So by the time you kind of get to the end of the seed, you're probably a bit more. You might be more exhausted than you think you are.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you also get to full clear.
Oh yeah.
Like
yeah.
the right side team is currently experiencing.
Yeah. Well, I guess did Walter? Well, he's gonna go into the left side, I guess, by himself, right?
He already did
like,
it.
Yeah. Right. Okay, well, at least the good news is that your partner doesn't have to do left side because, you know, you have taken one for the team.
True.
Yeah.
But also Walter demonstrated there for everyone why you should do the back first. Because it's more likely that the back has a big key, so you can just do the big chest along with left side.
Yeah, easy. So at least I think for this layout, the fact that the Kane is on Cold Stare, like, I don't think Walter and Sir Linkalot will be that happy. You know, like, okay, they both left Ice Palace after the mirror, thinking that, you know, Cold Stare was a pendant, knowing that Ice Palace is a pendant. So then, you know, like, I guess eventually they'll kind of make their way back there. They'll find Kane of Samaria, and then I guess that will unlock Turtle Rock for them, right? So that they can basically go through all of that. Like, they're still picking up like pendants along the way, right? Which is definitely very necessary. They just don't necessarily know that it's necessary.
Yeah, they're definitely. It's very fortunate that the Kane is on Cold Stare because otherwise they might get tempted to leave again after finding it. And yeah, like this, like they're gonna get the Kane, then they're gonna clear Turtle Rock for nothing, and then like they're just gonna be forced into pulling Pedestal.
Right. Yeah.
So it's in theory not that bad, but it's still pretty bad. They're definitely behind.
Yes, I
not being in potential go mode could still get them the win here because Mufte skipped the lava chest, which I guess it has a self-locking key, right? Because he has 0 keys right now. But I think he also is going to be safe. So that could be a potential combos required for Meyer that could save the right team's side.
Oh, okay. So I guess in this case, like, well, do you think Asura is going to do this, like, because he's like the second person, or in this case, you think that, like, in this situation, like, if the first person in doesn't do it, then it's just kind of gone.
I don't know. I feel like they're just like, okay, we're in go mode. We're going.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's not unreasonable, right? Because after this, they're gonna be able to get the flute off a pedestal. They're gonna be able to activate the flute, and then hopefully not be sad.
At this point, it's a decent chance that Bombos is just in GT, so you probably don't feel too bad about skipping like 2 locations. But I mean, it could happen. It could be that demise.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in Rando, I heard that it only takes 1, all right, like for basically the race to swing, you know, either for somebody or to swing back, you know, to somebody else. We also do have a green pendant Turtle Rock that like Bombos could be there as well.
Yeah, true.
And finally,
okay, so there's an item here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I guess Mafte skipped the big chest along with the Naked,
yeah, that's what it looks like,
and the last Smokies in there. But yeah, it looks like Osora is intending to. Oh, this is interesting. So yeah, I guess Osora is intending to check checks that Mafte skipped. It's interesting that Mafte is. Wait, where's he going?
That is a great question. We are doing.
Oh, he hasn't done Pond. That's why. Okay.
Oh. Right. He left after
yeah.
basically fighting all the good stuff, and then
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking he's doing Swamp before pulling pedestal for the flute and checking my entry, but yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Randomizer Mimic Cave always looks.
This looks so weird.
It's yeah, I think I'm maybe more bothered with the fact that all the blocks are like missing on the right side. I don't know, because it just it's less it's less neat, I guess, and orderly. Yeah. Okay, but this is at least a good thing for Walter and Sir Lancelot to be coming over here. At least like they're both gonna be inside Ice Palace. And, yeah, I think also to some extent, I'm not sure if they have anything really left at this point to be able to do. But at least they're gonna be able to get their King of Samaria. And then I assume in this case they're gonna be heading over to Turtle Rock. Because I'm not sure if because that's really the only thing that Kane opens, right?
Yeah. This is the last location for them right now. And I guess the keys in the darkness, that's why.
So actually, if you were in, Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. This is the great part of Enemizer. Wallmasters can literally just like get at you anywhere. So fun places to watch for Wallmasters. You have Ice Palace right before dropping down into the boss. You have the Pod Bridge. You have the top of any tower that you climb. GT or Aga, that's a real fun time. Yeah, to be able to get grabbed and then repeat the whole process.
Just Wallmaster greatest hits.
Wallmaster's greatest crowds.
So Sora's gonna get this temple sword here. And the Smoky, and then he might actually be first to pedestal. Because Mafte is just on his way to Wallmaster.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually wondering at this point, man, so Walter, I guess okay, so I guess if you were Sir Lancelot, or whoever's not going to Turtle Rock after Ice Palace, on Walter or Sir Lancelot's side, would you just,
No, they're both going to Turtle Rock because it's the last location. They literally have nothing else. Lancelot did dismiss. And that was the only other thing the mids opened up. And I didn't see it, but I assume they must have also done the mirror checks, because otherwise they would both be in here. So this is gonna be the last location, and then the only thing that gets opened up is TR, so they will both be there and then find out that they get to do pedestal. After there's nothing in there.
Yeah, I'm just wondering in this case if it would be worth somebody's time to actually like go check pedestal before heading up to Turtle Rock, just to see in this case. But it's probably not, as you said.
Yeah, because they're just Kane. After finding Kane, I mean they're just flute away from go mode.
Right. Yeah, that's actually it's a very good point. Yeah, but I think you're right though. Like Asura probably he's just finished up Turtle Rock. I'm assuming you can check Bulbo's tablet if and when you need to. If Meyer is not Ether or Quake, otherwise I think we're just good.
Yeah. If Maya ends up being Bombos, then you just check Green Pendant, you check Bombo Servant, and I guess they haven't been in Swamp either, right? Yeah, so they would check Swamp.
Correct. Yeah.
And all of that stuff, yeah.
Okay. Well, again, good. I mean, sometimes people, especially maybe for co-op seeds or for these types of things, right? Like, especially when checking pedestal, it's maybe not convenient. We've certainly seen that particular early decision to go check on Asura and Mufte's side really pay off in the scene.
Oh yeah, that was massive. Because it's just so tempting. You find the mirror in the first device, and then you're just like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's very reasonable. This is just kind of what happens. Like, and they've also they play the seed extremely differently. Obviously with the pedant knowledge, versus in this case, like you didn't. It allowed them to be extremely much more efficient because whenever you go into a dungeon, you're just gonna clear it and you're just gonna finish.
Exactly. Alright, we got the flute?
We got the flute. I am so eagerly awaiting what Meyer is in this case. Like,
oh yeah.
Okay, what are you hoping
it is?
Well, what am I hoping it is? kind of, sort of bombos, but
I hope they, just get to be relieved. They just get to finish the game and not suffer anymore. That being said, if it's Bombos, it's like not even that bad because there's like 2 checks left.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That like, what else in this case do we have left open? I mean, and also, okay, right, and you mentioned earlier that they have all of Swamp available to them. But like, if it is actually Bombos, right? Like, they're going to be able to have a much they're doing left side for sure, right? And they have a much more informed decision about whether or not they want to do this. We don't even care anymore. We have red. Like at the beginning of the game, we were on 4 hearts and green mail and like nothing, and now we're on 14 hearts and red mail. He doesn't even care anymore.
Yeah, this is the part where Mangus just doesn't really matter because you can just slam your face into everything.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's quick.
All right. Well, that is So that is officially knowingly go mode in this case in order to pick up the flute off a pedestal for Asura and Update.
They're probably very happy about this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like after going through all this, usually you just don't wanna look for anything anymore. You just wanna finish.
Yeah. I mean, and also like, okay, I mean, you can tell me what your personal experiences are. Like the fact that it's gonna be basically like a pet seed or like an all dungeon seed, like earlier on. I don't know. It seems easier to handle mentally as opposed to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thing you're very happy to find out because then you can just plan around it. You don't have to make any stressful decisions about whether you want to dip a pendant dungeon, whether you want to leave early after finding progression. You can just play the game, just clear everything.
Yeah, that's right. Just play the game. Imagine
so nice.
You can play the game. Walter is definitely trying to play the game. Oh wow, I did not think that he was.
That was kind of sick. You just switched locations with him.
Yeah, I mean, somehow that switch hit really worked out. Okay, I didn't actually catch what the boss was for.
Okay.
Yeah, did you catch it?
No. Kinda looked like Trinex, but also kinda didn't.
Okay, blind. Okay, we can hope in this case for blind. That's all fine. I mean, I think I've heard people, say, once you have everything, you're able to clear all the dungeons or all the bosses. You just don't need a map check anymore. That being said, like, if you want to try and mentally prepare yourself for the boss, that is coming up, right? I think that's probably worth like 2 seconds or whatever you spend.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, you talk about being able to play the game, right? If that makes you, have more fun and like, makes it easier for you, I think you should go do that, right? It's one thing to kind of try, it seems to be kind of a bad experience, if you're basically just trying to either like min-max or something, or, you're playing and you're actually just like stressed out the entire time.
Yeah, playing stressed out is definitely not fun. Then again, this is technically a speedrun, so you should probably try to go fast.
Yeah. But I mean, but there are investments that you can take, right? That, that you think will be worth it to you. Even it does, but it's a time investment, right? It's not necessarily a time loss. Because ultimately, if it makes you play better and makes you more enjoyable, it's probably worth your time.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I like that Mafte and Osora split up doing these two dungeons. So Osora can just look for the big key in Maya while Mafte finishes up Swamp.
Yeah. I mean, and so like that's actually kind of a pretty big contrast, right, between how Asura and Mupdate planned out their seed. I mean, granted, like they had pedestal knowledge, so they were able to plan things a bit more efficiently. We kind of have to see like Walter and Sir Link a lot in probably like similar locations. I mean, right now like Turtle Rock is kind of like it's a nice case example. They were also at the same place in Ice Palace and Lysora. Kind of a consequence of how the seed ended up going out for them, right? Because they lost created myths. And you know, they kind of like didn't have that many things that they could actually split up, and then they were kind of funneled into Ice Palace back. And then with the cane on Coldstair, they're funneled into Turtle Rock, and then I guess they're gonna both be funneled into pulling the pedestal at the same time, you know? But like, like in situations like this, it's just very hard to like when you kind of constructed a linear path, it's just really hard to be able to parallelize it.
Yeah, it wasn't even really their own fault. The way the seed played out, like you kind of forced them into the situation. But can't really blame them. They just didn't want to commit to going to Ether Tablet and ended up lasticating it.
Yeah.
Because up to that point, they had good things to do that they split up well, but then none of those were the progression they needed, and then they were kind of forced into those myths. And at that point, the seed was just very linear, so there wasn't much opportunity to split things up.
Yeah, no, I mean 100% agree with you. Yeah, it's not certainly for lack of trying that they're kind of in the same locations, because when you end up having certain like bottlenecks, there's nothing else you can. It's kind of like in other situations, maybe everybody gets funneled into Aga, right? Like ideally, you would have maybe one person. Maybe if you have to go get that item, they can do it earlier so you get more coverage, versus everybody kind of doing it at the same time. You know, it's just you don't get anything new out of it. Hello, Bomb Slug. Right on the bridge.
Okay, that being said, the Clown College is way ahead right now. However, there's still the great equalizer of a potential Ice Trinex that could be required.
You are correct. Yeah. You are absolutely
it's
correct.
Not necessarily over.
Now, I guess, like, for what it's worth, we do have at least one safety with us. And we have a bottle. I don't actually think it's filled with anything good. I want to say it's a B. Correct me if I'm wrong.
So I definitely saw Link a lot filled with a green potion at the Pyramid Ferry.
Okay.
Mafte picked up I think it was a red potion in Chomps, which I saw a source.
Oh, right, yeah, that's actually true. That's true. Walter has 2 bottles. Oh, okay. Yeah, so thinking of, we actually cannot get Ice Trinex, as I think Chad is also helpfully correcting us. So we saw Trinex in Ice Palace, and then apparently here we see Trinex in Turtle Rock.
You are right. Okay, yeah, I missed the Trinex in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, same.
Even
actually,
though it was
same.
right on screen just now. So.
Big same. No, okay, like like anything on ice though, can be pretty big. We actually did see blind, I think, in the back of the Trias, so we can't be blind there. And in desert, right? I think Argus can still be there. Argus on ice is kind of scary.
It's kind of bad, yeah. True.
How bad is Coldstair on ice?
With this equipment, probably not so bad.
Okay.
I know you. Because you like. At least for the ones that have half magic, it's not so bad. Although I assume that Osora and Linkalot will pick up half magic on the way to GT, since it's just sitting in neutral cave.
Yeah, so at this point it looks like Osora and Mupde are just on a dungeon rush at this point. They kind of finish up their 10th dungeon respectively. Osora's all the way in the back of Swamp Palace, and Mupde's gonna go find Blind real soon here, as soon as he gets the big key from lobby. But yeah, it looks like in this case, yeah, we don't need a book, we don't need to go check pedestal. Walter has all of the pendants. He better not be reading, he just better be pulling. Walter?
He did it.
He did it. Alright, that is, we know it's go mode. On Walter's side and Sir Linkalot's side. I think in theory, just like when Sura and Mufde were in the same situation, we don't know, they don't know what the medallion entry is for Meyer, but they'll. I'm sure Walter just basically gonna go. While Sir Lancelot, pretty much finish. He's gonna finish up the rest of at least do pod.
Yeah. So Walter and Lancelot have nothing left right now. Is that true? Have they checked bombos?
Yes, Lancelot checked bombos after swap.
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, they wouldn't have both been in TR at the same time. So yeah, they know if it's bombos, bombos must be in my area. So at least they don't have to worry about that. I think they both got spooky off the Star Force night.
Oh.
That makes me happy.
Oh, nice. It's actually even just like some of the little things that as a player, like the game is. Obviously, it can be pretty physically taxing, especially with Enemizer and stuff. That being said, is like playing Enemizer is not just like a reactive and swing sword as fast as you can type of situation. Like there are actually still like a lot of nuance and skill involved.
Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed that neither of them attempted bomb spooky there, but
Yeah.
Can't have everything. I assume this is the same feeling as when the runners don't do bow landmos that you feel.
Speaking of Lamos, have we seen any Lamos today?
No. I guess we haven't, so there must be one Lamos in GT somewhere.
Yeah. So maybe it'll be vanilla. Maybe we'll get a double dose of Lambos. We don't know. Maybe it could be ice Lambos, right? Actually, can it do that? Can it happen?
I assume so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Trinix can be there, I think the only boss that has any exceptions is Trinix. Is that right?
The Trinix Arena, you mean, or oh, you mean?
No, Trinix, like the boss. Like Trinix, the only one that cannot appear in some places, but I think everything else.
I think so.
Anywhere?
Lamos can't appear in like the Hera arenas, like the ones that have the platform.
Oh
like,
yeah,
can't
right.
appear in Hera, can't appear
They become really weird there. Yeah,
right,
I remember that.
Right. I think you're right. Those are probably the only exceptions. And that was great. I've also heard people make a suggestion that you can find Lambos on like Samaria conveyor belts, as well. That would be fun. Ice Trine. Yeah, like you get ice Trine, ice Lambos. Like I think it'd be fun. Oh, thanks, Humbug. Okay. Well, I can't all with you. Okay, that makes sense too.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I did see a couple numbers earlier. So yes, we have one more thing. Where we're talking about all these like ice, whatever possibilities. We are going to try and find that GT big key, and the hope, of course, is that it is behind ice whatever is back there. At least for us. I don't know about them. We don't care about them, right? They're here,
Yes, I absolutely do not care about either of these 4 players' feelings. I want to see the big key room.
Walter needs to use his potion like soon, so none of us freaks out. Okay.
He heard you. He does not want you to freak out.
Thank you, Walter. I guess for what it's worth, we also haven't found a bug net. At least I don't think we have.
I'm pretty sure I saw it somewhere.
Okay, maybe. Okay, I mean it's very possible. Like there are 4 screens. It's hard to catch these things. But I mean I know there are a lot of memes also attached to the bug net. But I mean, especially in Enemizer, it is really nice to be able to just catch a fairy.
Yeah, you're actually very happy to have it here.
Okay, so I think did we not find a small key in Hope Room? Is that why we're here on the left side?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Mufta is actually just rushing Compass Room.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I mean, this is kind of like the benefit of having a buddy. I mean, there are many benefits, obviously, having a buddy run the seed with you. Is that even in this case, like you can go to Hope Room first. If there's a small key, and keep going, right? If there's not, your partner can go steal the key from the left side and then just keep going. So you don't necessarily have to incur like the high variance of if the big key is here.
Yeah, it's nice to split this up.
So I guess so that being said, does that mean that Mufte is gonna go like all the way, like to Ice Armos from here, or ice whatever?
That's a good question. So I guess what makes sense is that he waits here until Osora is in render room.
Oh.
And then
okay.
if the Vicky isn't there, then he knows he has to continue. I assume that's what he's gonna do, or maybe I assume he wouldn't want to open the store. Okay, I don't think he gets to open the store before he has the knowledge.
The two falls here on Mutte's side has been extremely beneficial in order to stall him and buy him some time. Okay, we're gonna ice whatever.
Okay, just don't be Bob's chest.
Oh no.
At this point, like, it would be too cruel if it's in Bob's chest. We want to see the ice boss. Of course, a very funny situation would be if it's not in Bob's chest, but then it's also not behind Ice Amos and it's just Tile Room, and they both suffer through the boss fight.
Oh. Well, actually, so it looks like Asura's going to be the first one here by a very slim margin. Oh, nice. Oh, jeez, that sword is actually super nice for whatever.
Yeah, you're actually really happy about that. Oh, it's Lambo? Okay, yeah. Use the bow. Well, it's worth. I think Mafte will use the bow. Oh, maybe not. Maybe he doesn't want to bother.
I do not see any. Oh, he has a quick swap, but it's not the right bow. Shovel. All right, it is actually worthwhile here. Yeah, that gold sword, by the way, has made like a pretty significant difference for this fight, because you actually just see them basically slashing at this point and like not actually having to do any more spins or spending any more resources.
Yeah, Mafte. Okay, good. He remembered that he needs to get a key. Because he just stole this. I guess.
Oh yeah, he got it. Yeah, he got it on the
floor. And then right side. Yeah, and then he didn't have any keys left after right side. Okay, this is where we are in the gauntlet, and you kind of just wanna use a medallion in every room.
Yeah, we
Mafte going right side found two very nice things. One being the silvers, which I mean, also obviously very nice, but he also found the bombos, which is just kind of nice for the gauntlet. Because a lot of the rooms are just like annoying and slow, and you kind of just want to bombos them and randomize it.
Yeah,
especially if they have red berries.
Yeah,
red berries are like the worst thing that just takes forever to get rid of.
Yeah, and like no memes or anything like that. Like, it is actually probably more efficient for you to use your medallion. I was gonna say, Asura also talking about efficiency. It should not die here. It looks like he's gonna do the refill room. I mean, they're certainly in a very commanding position in this race. Like, I mean, and like it's a lot of it I would attribute like to their early like pedestal knowledge, but I think in general they also just played out like they played the seat very well.
Yeah, the mids and the pedestal, both of those things, just really let them go ahead, like come out ahead in this one. And yeah.
Asura and Muffe are taking your advice. They're not using combos, but
I mean, if you can kill the enemies with ether, then you would rather use ether because it's faster. So this is very smart.
And I guess Asura doesn't even have the Bombos medallion option, right? Because he didn't go into Compass Room.
Yeah, I assume they're also communicating with each other.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But what to use where? Actually, let's just Lambos again. And they're still not using the bow.
I know. The nerve of them. On restream, I can't believe in this case I'm not going to use the best weapon of the entire game. Mufte though, he might, but it's not the right bow. I was actually kind of curious to see, like, who do you think? Oh, well, that's also not the right game. Oh, we're just gonna move. That's fine. So who do you actually think is gonna finish faster? Finish first? Asura or Mufte?
Mufte is just 2 rooms behind Silvers.
And he has Silvers, right?
Like half a minute. Yeah. Assuming he doesn't lose time to anything. Like Agatu obviously is like a big one that could lose you a lot of time. Oh, sorry, you gotta tell him there's a... I think Asura just wants to finish first, that's why he didn't tell Mufte about this turtle. That's so cold-blooded also.
I know. Oh, this guy's doing draws full magic for you too. Or it would draw full magic for you if it decides to actually take a hit. Oh.
But why? It's not stunned, right?
Oh, maybe I'm
I wonder why he wants to kill this guy.
Oh, he has health? Maybe they were in the big variety pack? I guess I didn't know. I didn't pay attention.
Alright, because he wants to... I don't know why he didn't want to use the fire rod there. Or pick up his mat. Oh, he wants to fake powder? Is that one?
Oh, at the very top. I gotcha. Yeah, I can see that.
He doesn't have the powder, okay. But now he doesn't need to anymore, right? Because he got
because he got the fairy.
Anyway, Osora taking an unfortunate fall there, letting Mafte probably reclaim the lead.
Did you see how Walter waited out his time in order to bypass the spike, and he had hook speed in order to do Hero Pod?
Nice job, Walter.
So I'm seeing
that... This is not the age of burnout.
Alright, well, we're kindly reminded that this is still the tournament branch. We have quite the time penalty to use Burna. We are going to run out of arrows on Mufte's side.
6 is all we need. In fact, 4 is all we need.
That's true. Yeah, the Hera or the Moldorm arenas have really been like unkind in terms of like the boss placements. I think everything else actually has been manageable, right? I mean, you know, Mothula's probably not going to be great in any other arena, but I mean, you know what you're kind of getting yourself into. Yeah, Blind was in like Vitreous' spot, and I think Armos was in Pot spot, which is, you know, it's manageable, but like, holy cow, like.
With this Steve. So Nicholas has lost like a minute already trying to get this half magic.
Trying to get the half magic, yeah. Can we like
So I think you can have the sword out and hook, and then like you land there with the sword out, and you could just defend yourself from the thief that way.
I guess thieves can't die to arrows, right? Oh my gosh, dude, this guy's
actually no, maybe
is he
they
gonna
could.
be okay, like going in here? So he actually might be the one going to Compass Room, you know? Like, between himself and Walter?
Yeah, that's gonna make his 3 arrows count more at least.
Yeah. I mean, but also, like, we still have to, oh, no, we don't have any more mimics in the upstairs, so at least, like, we don't have, like, an arrow problem upstairs, but still, yeah, like, might be a bit more,
but I assume Lincoln will not do bow lambos. I'm sorry, Klimos.
Yeah, most likely not. And I guess, like, technically there is going to be, like, we can always get the 5 arrow pop right before, right? That's always static. So he'll at least have silvers enough in theory for the fight, for Ganon.
Yeah, that's never an issue. Yeah, we see pretty much simultaneous Ganon fights. Mafte a little bit ahead of Osora even. And he also has the silver, so yeah, he's gonna get the first G.
Oh, I actually see in this case, Walter and actually Walter is actually doing right side GT instead of Sir Lick-a-Lot, so that's actually pretty cool. I mean, cool in the sense that Walter has a bunch of arrows, so he can actually use silvers, as opposed to Sir Lick-a-Lot, you know, probably not necessarily gonna happen in this particular case. Alright, well, talking about silver arrows, that is 4 and done for Mufte. Get your get your 1G in chat for Mufte, taking first place out of the 4. Looks like might be actually, yeah, with Asura fast behind, it's gonna look like a 1-2 combo for Khan College.
Yeah, they played the seed really well. No big issues in like how the routing worked out. They just got all the items when they needed them. They got the pedestal knowledge right when they needed it, and that's how they just cruised through the seed. So very well done.
Yeah, the beginning was certainly maybe a bit rougher for execution, you know, just because you had to, well, I mean, like, if something was locked behind Pyramid Fairy, right, like, the fact that you had to go kill Colster, kind of on that, kind of mean, but, you know, luckily in this case, only one of them had to go do it. All right. Well, that is also stored up for Asura. So yeah, big GGs to Clown College with Asura and Mufte.
Yeah, GG's to the Clown College.
All right. This
Looks
might
like
be, yeah.
Yeah. A forfeit on the other side, unfortunately.
Yeah, a big GG's in this case too. Walter and Sterling a lot. Like, I mean, I think they play the seed best. They definitely to like the best of their ability. It's just, when depending on like what in this case you last locate, the seed can just not be paralyzable at the end. But we are actually joined by Mupte and Asura. Today's winners. Yo, guys, GG's.
Hello, GG.
Hey, GG's,
Thank you.
guys.
So yeah, well, okay, so one of the big routing questions was, at what point did you guys decide to go check patterns? Like, what motivated you guys to go do that early? That was certainly one of the major turning points of the seed.
I don't know. I had a feeling Pet is so stupid, and the last seed was a Pet seed on this channel, so I I take the book and check it.
Amazing.
But don't you realize that if the last seed was a pet seed, there's no way this one is a pet seed as well?
Luckily, it wasn't. Or it was this time. Again, I mean. Yeah, we didn't have that much left anymore. I think I just went into Ice Palace when he decided to check the pet. But other than that, other than Ice Palace, we didn't have much open anymore, so... Yeah, I would have never checked the pet in this case. Luckily, Ozora does. Because I think that won us the game. I guess it
Oh yeah, definitely gave you a
did.
tremendous advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we
go
thought that the mirror in Ice Palace might even have been a bait to send them into Swamp Palace. And then full clear
who would
it.
never do that?
Oh.
GG's to you.
Yo, GG.
Yo,
GGs.
Walter, Sterling a lot. GG's, guys.
GG's, you too.
So I guess it was a bait.
Yeah, we went for
Oh,
Swamp
no.
Palace with the mirror.
Yeah, understandable.
I think also one big difference was, Mufte and, you guys got to the midst first, with Ether Tablet. And then I think that was also much more delayed on Walter and Sterling a lot side.
Yeah,
Wait.
that was hard last locating for us.
Now that I think about it, it might have been good that I died on Cold Stare. Because that got Ozora back to Hera. Because if I did Cold Stare first try in Hera, then Ozora probably wouldn't have gone there this early back to Hera.
That
So
makes
maybe
a
my
lot of
death was a
sense.
good thing.
Yeah, so on the other team, Nicola managed to pull off the cold cycle when he was there, and it's definitely like you're way less inclined to come like up to Hera if you do that, because you already
Yeah.
have the 5/6 crystal, you already have the 2 items out of Hera, so it's for Ether Tablet at that point.
So it was a tactical death by me, yeah. Okay.
It's my choice.
Also,
Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't like that fight on Cold Star. I saw it, I was just like, I have it to do it. I'm gonna try it.
You did
When I got
great.
when I got a half a heart, I'm like,
awesome.
all right, we're gonna try. And when I finally killed, I'm like, all right, I got it. I'm happy
Nice.
with this.
I was way too
it's
confident.
so stressful when you... Oh, go ahead.
I was way too confident when I went in there with full HP or with almost full HP, and then it instantly took like 3 or 4 hits and played it safe after that, but still took a hit at the end and died.
Yeah, it's always such a bad feeling when you get to 1 heart and then you play super safe and like drag out the fight for another half a minute and then still
Yeah.
die, and then it's just like, yeah, great. I just wasted even more time.
True.
Yeah, probably like in this case like the mitts, and then Mufte and Asura had early pedestal knowledge, so like they were able to do a lot more things more efficiently. The versus like, you always don't want to finish a pendant dungeon if you don't have to, right? So that's kind of like one of the other major things. Like you saw the mirror in pendant Ice Palace, you guys didn't know that you had to finish it regardless. I mean, turns out you did anyway because Kane was on Cold Stare, right?
Yep.
But like if you had the knowledge earlier, you probably would have tried harder to, to finish the dungeon first time.
Yeah. Yeah, we were discussing if we were gonna do it or not, because I continued in while we were discussing it, and then we were like, "Nah, we'll use the swamp instead."
Yeah, we were at first kind of relieved when we saw you continue in Ice Palace, but then yeah, sad moment when you did end up same quitting.
It was an interesting seed. I think we last located 3 items, almost 4 if you count the mirrors one as well.
Yeah, you really didn't have a great time.
Yeah, so we had a bit unlucky in our routing, or our sequence in the routing. But it was a fun seed overall. You know, double pet seeds for our SG chat. Hope you're happy now. You're not gonna get any more.
Yeah, surely this will make SG chat not ask about pedestal for a couple of streams, right? Right, chat, you can promise that.
Too early.
Yeah, I think this was outside maybe of the cold stare at Hera. I want to say the other bosses maybe weren't as the execution for the Sea Boys maybe wasn't as bad because Temper was a bit later, but you at least had Master Sword for most of it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty comfortable overall, I would say. Yeah.
Which boss was in the ice fight? PT.
Lambos.
The one that you were supposed to use the correct bow on, and nobody did. I'm just gonna put that on first.
My Kokon was very disappointed he didn't use wooden arrows on either of the landmolars.
Which normal people do ice lammo with bow? Who?
I had silvers.
You be the trendsetter.
you have to look who's commentating, and then you have to make the sacrifice. That's how it works.
Makes sense, yeah.
Triple-dip swamp, ne?
No. See, you got to come into the race room. Let us know. Hey, I'm coming. You all need to have a gentleman's agreement that if this is the boss, you have to fight it like that. And be like, okay.
No, you should know. I think this is one where you should simply know.
I'll remember for next time. Yeah.
All right. That's that. Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that for next time. Speaking of next time, when is game 2, guys? Or not decided yet?
We haven't decided yet.
I don't know which mode. Bovis Man, other team-Kollege, is to choose the mode. For us, I don't know which one is what it is. The tracker! He tracks with race.
Maybe he can unmute himself and comment on what his choice will be.
Maybe.
No, it's all good. No pressure, right? Yeah, so Walter and Sterling, you guys have the first choice for co-op randomizer, and then Clown College sounds like they'll have your choice for game 2. It also sounds like you have a lot of time basically to play out the match because it's only week 1, right? So and you have at least 2 weeks to do this.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello.
There he is.
Hello.
We haven't decided yet on the mode.
Decide right now.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
I believe it's not gonna be Animizer, that much I can say.
Okay, alright, that's fair.
Okay.
Might be against the league rules or anything. Alright, well, I guess whatever you guys end up deciding, have fun. It is league, and yeah, I mean, whatever happens, certainly best of luck to all 4 of you. Oh, sorry, all 6 of you. Dr. Bob is also in chat, so.
Yeah, GG's again.
GG.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
I think that might end up doing it for at least for this broadcast. So thank you guys all so much for racing. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was really exciting actually. When you guys found Flute on pedestal, yeah, that was that was certainly took things very differently for this race. But yeah, it was certainly a lot of fun. So thank you guys so much. I want to thank Ira and Boot This Man for tracking. It was a lot of work basically keeping track of everything. So thank you guys all so much. Very active in chat as well, telling us where all things were when we totally forgot how many items there were. So thank you guys. And yeah, Jem, this was a blast. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. Just always happy to commentate with you. Yeah.
Oh.
Just feel free to ask again.
No, for sure. I mean, there might even be a game 2 coming up at some point, for these guys, right? So, so we can see whenever these, more matches are on the schedule. Yeah. So I think, at least for today, I believe there's one more match at 9:10 p.m. Eastern, which is your mom's favorite rando team versus Don't Forget to Track Us. So that's Fear and Gamma versus Flipio and Iker, SG3. And I believe, actually, Dr. Bob is on commentary for that one, so that should actually be a fun listen. Dr. Bob and Blue Lake. And they're playing Retrons. And then I think there are going to be a couple more matches, I think probably sometimes. Oh, yeah, and Jem, yeah, you're playing. You're playing tomorrow at 4 p.m. It's Channel TBD versus TAM for Game 2 for Pilot Spoiler. So lots of fun rando to be had and watched. And yeah, so but until then, yeah, have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, everyone.